Please welcome to the stage Chancellor Sonya. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's give it up for my friend and colleague, President Catherine Jeffrey. I love the way, President Jeffrey, that you started off your remarks with a story about the gentleman who waited for you to come back. And I want to start on that note. It's that generosity of human spirit that I fundamentally believe in. And I think that's what we in the California community colleges we do. We bring out the better angels in each and every human being that encounters a California community college. And that is why at this time, I feel a tremendous sense of confidence that the work we are doing is the right work, and the work we are doing is going to set up our communities and our planet for future generations. But let me start again with the decor today, and this is what I did when I walked in, okay? It's a lot of fun. Find your groups of friends that you have known for a long time, and those that you're just meeting today and getting to know, and snap a picture so you can tuck away that memory about the moments that are created today at the BCAP Summit. I do have a slide deck, and I think I'll follow what Jeff Clary did in saying the next slide. And Carla, could you give me like a hand signal when I'm about 15 minutes into my talk, and I'll wrap it up. Yep, you get me for 15 minutes, actually 20 minutes. But I really want to start when I listen to Tina. I don't see Tina here, but those of you who know Tina, please go back to her and let her know that she really set the stage for today's conversation. Just listening to her, I felt the warmth fill every cell in my body, and know that the work we are doing is important work. And we're going to have fun and music while we're doing it, right? So I wanted to start off by really recognizing people, celebrating people, and then maybe talk a little bit about Vision 2030. I think most of you from the California community colleges can probably get my speech for me as it relates to Vision 2030, because I've been doing the show on the road now for about 2 years. Well, where do I start? I see my team here from the Chancellor's office, our Vice Chancellor for Workforce and Economic Development. He is absolutely a champion for bringing in climate conversations into all things workforce. So you've got an anchor that is thinking about strong workforce funding and everything through the climate lens. So I really love that Trish and Sandra called out the strong workforce funding because, you know, I really believe it's regulation and resources that really accelerate change. So you've got to have, okay, great, okay, let me change my right-hander here. You've got to have regulation and resources, and the state of California is leading the nation when it comes to sort of putting climate and putting the regulation out there, and all of us are making sure that our organizations really respond to those regulatory changes. So coming back to the table here, I want to introduce Carla Grandi. Please stand up, Carla. Carla is my right hand when it comes to all things climate. Carla was Vice President of Instruction at San Mateo. And we have the Climate Fellows program that Jeff had referred to. And Carla is leading the project and now is my senior advisor. And I mean, is a big visionary when it comes to climate work. But here's the kicker, okay? Having ideas and thinking deep, powerful thoughts is something everyone can do, right? But taking those thoughts and thinking through the details, the grueling work that constitutes implementation of big ideas. Carla is pretty darn incredible to look at how we can do things at scale and how we can accelerate it at scale. So all of you who don't know Carla, find her. If you have a project that you're thinking about at your college, get it on her radar, because we'll bring the energy of the Chancellor's office to support your ideas and see if together we can find the resources to make it happen. Sitting next to Carla is Sonya. Please stand up and be recognized. You'll hear from the Climate Fellows. Sonya just launched a Student Fellows program, right? When you're looking at, the new generation, between Moreland and Michigan. By the way, that was great. Madonna's, the piece that you had. I really do believe that our students are the ones who are going to be able to reconcile what we consider as mutually exclusive ideas. For them, it's going to be, that's, it's all one and the same. The idea of looking at economic interests, looking at social interests, and looking at the interests of our planet are all going to be one and the same conversation for our generations to come and for our students. So I believe the true leaders of our work are going to come from the Student Climate Fellows. So I just can't wait to see what next year is going to be. And remember, we just got the Climate Fellows. Carla just started 6 months ago. So can you imagine the work that we can report on a year down the line? And right next to Tanya, we have, and oh, by the way, Tanya's Chancellor is here. Waldi Abisab, please stand up and be recognized. I told you it's all about people. Good people doing good work. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I'm at a time in my life that I want to select good projects, work with good people, and make big things happen. And all of the other presidents were recognized earlier, so I'm not going to re-recognize them, but these are individuals who are committed to this work. So coming back to Holly Hoffman, please stand up, is our curriculum lead. And I'm already deviating from my slides, so maybe I don't do my slides at all. What I want is talk about the work Holly is doing is the curriculum work has multiple dimensions. And the way we think about the curriculum and the way we orchestrate the curriculum is going to be the work that the climate action happens in the California community colleges. For example, BCAP leaders in the room. I have a slide, but I'm going to go for it right now here. We're talking about Holly. The community colleges are so ready to engage with the BCAP work, and it doesn't need to be the community colleges that are close to our ocean. Because when you think about our planet, 70% of our planet, the ocean. So ocean literacy is ubiquitous with climate action. And so my hope is that when we are looking at the curriculum and literacy, that we are absolutely thinking about each and every community college participating in it. In fact, recently I came across Orange Coast Community College doing some conservation curriculum with their aquarium, and it's a 3-unit dual enrollment course, okay? So they're bringing in high school students to get dual enrollment, and then they're inviting community to come in and participate. It's sort of a hybrid course. Part of it is online, and part of it you actually experimented in a sense of place, and the community gets credits at the community college. So the curriculum is really multifaceted, right? You've got the workforce curriculum that is in every industry sector, whether it's logistics, whether it's agriculture. In the Central Valley, I was very much in tune with the revolution that was happening with agricultural technology to be sensitive to the drought in the Central Valley, and the soil sciences and all of that has led to emerging technologies in that space. So when I talk about curriculum, I see my friend here, Jim Limbaugh at West LA. The state of California, what did I say? There are 2 things that constitute acceleration of work. One is regulation. The second is resources. So $5 million was invested in West LA College to really advance curriculum. So we're developing an MOU with West LA to see, rather than repeating the curriculum development 72 different times, why don't we create hubs that when we have the curriculum developed, we can go ahead and then get it across all of our community college system. And the same with the California Renewable Energy Lab with renewable energy. That was a $50 investment by the state of California. So the state of California is really putting its money in climate as a priority. And recently we had Proposition 2 that was passed as well. Where was I? Okay, I was with Holly here. And I'm not sure if our fourth climate fellow is in the room. Please, Norma Rojas Mora. All right. So our fourth climate, yeah. So this is great to talk about community engagement, and our foundation does a tremendous job with connecting with the community. This was a passion of Norma's in looking at how do we engage community. So I would ask every community college person here to think about how is your community college contributing to the community's literacy related to climate. How are you contributing to the economic development that is happening in your community? How is it changing, and how are you inviting the community to the table? Because remember, these are not different conversations. The conversation of economic development is not different from the conversation about looking at worker economic mobility, because when you think of economic development, I typically think about our industry, right? Industry partners. Is Altacy in the room, by the way, Sandra? Altacy, where are you? Please stand up and be recognized. By the way, I want to come to Altacy and take a tour. And presidents and chancellors in the room, let's all go on a field trip, because you are doing like tremendous work, and super excited. Sandra Sanchez was briefing me on Saturday, and I think she was driving her kids and briefing me on the program, and the cool stuff that you're doing, cutting edge research. We need to bring our CEOs, we need to bring our vice presidents and vice chancellors to do a tour and really understand that where you're like so far ahead in the work that you're doing. So back to the role of the community colleges, when we talk about our industry, we need to be at the table with the industry. You see the times of the community colleges coming after the industry has the new technologies that are hitting the market, right? We need to be at the table when the technology is being developed in laboratory before it hits the market. So that way our faculty can anticipate what's happening. So the role of the community college faculty in this case is twofold. Number one, that they're at the table influencing the design of the technology. And why is this important? Because we are committed to supporting our communities, we're committed to supporting equity, and our community college faculty are in tune with the communities they serve, so they can bring that knowledge and that intelligence to the development of the new technologies that are emerging. So that's one part of our role. And then the second part is to anticipate where this technology is going and then start looking at the curriculum. You see the curriculum in the past. I remember when I was faculty many decades ago, on the CTE side, we would all of a sudden get a call either from our economic development entity. It's already 15 minutes, I remember, so I have 5 more minutes. So let me start wrapping up. Okay, let me finish this thought. So we would get a call, and then we would turn around and put together a training that was responsive to that industry that needed the workforce for the deployment of the technologies, right? Now the way our faculty are thinking about it, and the call to action in Vision 2030, is for us to be thinking about the economic mobility of the worker as we are supporting our industry partner. So what does that conversation look like, right? That conversation looks like pathways. So if we have the short-term skill development, how does that connect to a pathway that leads to a credential, a certificate, then leads to an associate's degree. What is the difference between a certificate and an associate degree? It's your general education curriculum, and I'm a huge believer in the general education curriculum. So you tag on, you're connected to the worker, right? And that relationship between the workers of California and the California community colleges is a long-term relationship. It's not a short relationship that is one and done without short-term training. We develop the relationship and say, hey, by the way, you know, you're doing this welding, you could take on these classes and you could get an associate's degree. And then you can move on to your baccalaureate degree. I'm so happy this is an intersegmental conversation because you can get to go on to a CSU, you can get to go on to a UC, or you can complete a baccalaureate in your California community college. So I didn't use my slides, I'm out of time. So my last comment to all of you, I'm so grateful that you are here today for such an important topic, is to ask the VCAP Consortium, okay? We have Vision 2030 demonstration projects. So Trish and Sandra, take this back to your team. If you're interested in becoming a Vision 2030 demonstration project, there are 3 things you need to do. Number 1 is develop a document that shows why is this topic relevant, and we know why it is, that's why we're here today. Why is it important? Are you exploring a concept or are you doing a proof of concept? And can you take it to scale? Okay, write it up and then pitch it to, typically demonstration projects, you pitch it to the lead in the Chancellor's office. I was going to say Carla Grandi, but Tony raised his hand and said, no, it's me. So you've got 2 folks, Carla Grandi and Tony. Carla is all things climate and Tony is the wind behind Carla's sails. Pitch it to Carla, okay? She'll go through the vetting process, then she'll take it to our Deputy Chancellor, Romina Tomine, and then we'll take it to our executive team, and then it kind of comes to me. And I'm so ready to support this project because I think we're doing something magical with the consortium that you started. And you're starting it with collaboration because we are in a time that the only way to solve problems is through large-scale cooperation and collaboration. And you're making it happen. You're moving with urgency because our time is... Thank you very much.